Did you know that Africa had female armies so fierce that European colonizers trembled at their mere mention? For centuries, history books have largely ignored the extraordinary contributions of African women, especially those who took up arms to defend their people and their sovereignty. Today, we shine a light on these forgotten heroines, the queens, the warriors, and the strategists who defied expectations and shaped the course of African history. Our journey begins in present-day Nigeria, in the ancient city-state of Zozo, where Queen Amina reigned supreme in the late 16th and early 17th centuries. Amina wasn't just a ruler, she was a military genius. Leading an army of 20,000 soldiers, she expanded Zozo's territory through relentless conquest, building fortified war camps wherever she went. Her legacy lives on in the massive earthen walls, known as Ganu, that still stand today, testaments to her power and strategic brilliance. From Nigeria, we travel south to the kingdom of Dahomey, in modern-day Benin. Here, we encounter the Egoji, or Dahomey Amazons, an all-female military regiment that was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Formed in the early 18th century, these women were not just soldiers, they were an elite fighting force, feared and respected throughout West Africa. By the mid-19th century, their numbers swelled to between 2,000 and 6,000, armed with muskets, machetes, and an unwavering dedication to their kingdom. Their training was brutal, pushing them to the limits of human endurance. They underwent months of grueling physical conditioning, learning to scale thorny barriers, endure pain, and show no mercy to their enemies. Each kill earned them a scarification tattoo, a permanent mark of their valor. Led by formidable commanders like Sedong Hongbei, who commanded 6,000 Amazons in the 1851 campaign against the Egba people, these women were a force to be reckoned with. They swore vows of celibacy, symbolically marrying the king and dedicating their lives to the defense of Dahomey. Their battle cry, "We are no longer women, we are men," echoed across the battlefields, striking fear into the hearts of their adversaries. Now, we journey to Ghana, to the Ashanti Empire, where Asantewaa, the Queen Mother of Ejisu, rose to prominence in the face of British colonial aggression. In 1900, when the British demanded the Golden Stool, the sacred symbol of Ashanti sovereignty, Asantewaa rallied her people to defend their heritage. At the age of around 60, she led the War of the Golden Stool, mobilizing thousands of warriors, including women, in a desperate attempt to drive out the British. Though ultimately unsuccessful, her leadership inspired a generation of Ashanti resistance and cemented her place as a national icon. Crossing the continent, we arrive in Zimbabwe, where we meet Nehanda Mbuya, a spiritual medium and a key figure in the first Kumurenga, the Shona and Ndebele people's uprising against the British South Africa Company in the late 19th century. As a Mondoro, a spirit medium, Nehanda possessed immense spiritual authority. She used her influence to inspire resistance against the colonizers, urging her people to fight for their land and their freedom. Even in the face of capture and execution, Nehanda remained defiant. Her last words, "My bones will rise," became a rallying cry for future generations of Zimbabwean freedom fighters. Her prophecy influenced Zimbabwe's 1980 independence flag. Our journey takes us next to Lesotho and South Africa, where Mantatisi, the regent chieftainess of the Tlokwe clan, led her people through the tumultuous Mfikeng Wars of the early 19th century. With Zulu armies sweeping across the land, Mantatisi rose to the occasion, commanding an army of tens of thousands, including women and children. She fought bravely alongside her warriors, personally leading them into battle, using shields and assegais. Her strategic brilliance and unwavering determination enabled the Tlokwe to survive the Mfikeng, relocating her people hundreds of miles to escape the Zulu onslaught. Finally, we travel to Angola, where Queen Nzinga of Ndongo and Matamba waged a decades-long guerrilla war against the Portuguese colonizers. A brilliant diplomat and a skilled military strategist, Nzinga defied Portuguese attempts to subjugate her kingdom. She allied with the Dutch, offering them trade and military support in exchange for their assistance in fighting the Portuguese. For nearly 40 years, she resisted Portuguese rule, leading her warriors in battle and negotiating treaties to protect her people's interests. Her famous 1622 audience with the Portuguese governor, where she refused to kneel and instead had a servant act as a human chair, became a symbol of her defiance and unwavering spirit. The stories of these African women warriors are not just tales of the past, they are a source of inspiration for the present and the future. They remind us of the strength, resilience, and leadership that African women have always possessed. Their legacies continue to resonate in modern Africa, inspiring female leaders and activists to fight for justice, equality, and self-determination. From the statues erected in their honor to the films and books that tell their stories, these women are finally receiving the recognition they deserve. But there are also controversies. The Dahomey Amazons' involvement in the slave trade is not something glossed over. We understand that their power was built on a terrible practice. The erasure of Queen Hangbe from the Dahomey chronicles after her brother Okaba's death. The execution of Nehanda Mbuya shrouded in doubt and the suppression of her prophecy's true text. The exaggeration of European accounts paints a dehumanizing picture of these women. The tales of Queen Amina's lovers and deathbed stories that romanticize or undermine her military achievements. The suppression of African sources that highlight strategic genius over savagery. These African women warriors challenged patriarchal norms, disrupted gender roles, and defended their people against colonial aggression. Their stories deserve to be told, not just as tales of bravery and military prowess, but as testaments to the power of women to shape history and inspire change. As we conclude our journey, let us remember the names of these forgotten heroines: Amina, the warrior queen of Zozo, the fearless Agoji of Dahomey, Asantewaa, the defiant queen mother of Ejisu, Nehanda Mbuya, the spiritual leader of Zimbabwe, Mantatisi, the resilient chieftainess of the Tlokwa, and Queen Nzinga, the indomitable ruler of Ndongo and Matamba. Their stories are a vital part of African history, a history that is finally being reclaimed and celebrated. Their courage, their leadership, and their unwavering commitment to their people will continue to inspire generations to come.